You probably rewound that intro. Or you're already wondering if you clicked the right video. Or if you should have just kept scrolling. And now, you're thinking about the fact that you're thinking about it. Yay. Hi, this one's for you. Most people think overthinkers just worry too much. Like it's some nervous habit. Like biting your nails. Except instead of your nails, it's every conversation you've had since 2009. But that completely misses what's actually happening. Because people who overthink aren't just thinking too much. They're stuck in a system that doesn't know how to switch off. And once you understand that system, something shifts. It starts to feel like somebody finally gets it. So let's go there. Your brain has a network. It's called the default mode network. It activates the moment you stop focusing on the outside world. This is where you replay the past, simulate the future, analyze social situations. Basically, it's where your mind goes when it's left alone. Now for most people, this system runs quietly in the background. But for overthinkers, it runs loud, constantly, relentlessly, exhaustingly loud. But here's the part most people don't understand. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing something incredibly advanced. There's a difference between reflection and rumination. Reflection moves you forward. Rumination keeps you stuck, looping the same thoughts over and over again, without ever reaching a conclusion. You're not solving anything. You're rehearsing the problem in different versions, with the same ending. And the worst part, it feels productive. Like if you just think a little longer, you'll figure it out. You'll find the answer that makes everything okay. But you don't. You just stay there, too wide awake, thinking in circles. A lot of this starts earlier than people realize. Not in some dramatic way, but in subtle environments where things felt unpredictable, where you had to read the room, where you had to think ahead, where being aware kept things stable. So your brain adapted. It learned thinking equals safety, and that worked. The problem is, it never stopped. Now, you're using the same system in situations that don't need it. A text message, a facial expression, a small pause in conversation, and suddenly your brain is building a full case file. Because it doesn't know the difference between real danger and perceived meaning, stress is stress, and your body reacts like it's real. Now, here's something a lot of people don't notice. Some overthinking is almost entirely about other people. How they see you, what they think of you, whether you said something wrong. You replay conversations, analyze tone, rewrite messages. Not because you don't know what to say, but because you're trying to control how it's received. That's not weakness, that's empathy. Just with no off switch. And the harsh reality? You give that empathy to everyone else. Except yourself. You'll spend 30 minutes convincing someone they're not a burden. Then, spend the entire night convincing yourself that you are. Same mind, different rules. And then there's this. The more you try to stop thinking, the worse it gets. Because suppression doesn't remove thoughts. It amplifies them. You push it away, it comes back stronger. So, just stop thinking was never real advice. It was a trap. And here's something most people miss completely. You don't overthink everything. You overthink what matters. The decisions that feel heavy, the relationships you care about, the identity you're trying to protect, which means your overthinking isn't random. It's a map. It shows you what actually matters to you. Your anxiety knows. It just communicates it in the worst way possible. And then comes the hardest part, stillness. Because the moment you stop distracting yourself, everything shows up. All at once, so you stay busy. Not because you want to, but because it's the only way to keep the volume down. But over time, you forget how to sit with your own mind without trying to escape it. And that's where this becomes exhausting. Now, here's the truth. Understanding this won't make it disappear. It's not supposed to. The goal isn't a silent mind. The goal is a different relationship with your thoughts. Instead of asking, how do I stop this? Ask, what is this trying to protect me from? And then ask, is that still real? Because most of the time, it isn't. What's left is just a pattern. A habit you've practiced for years, and habits don't disappear. They get replaced. So the shift isn't in stopping the thoughts, it is in how you respond to them, to notice the spiral without stepping into it, to pause, instead of reacting, to say, I see what you are doing. But you don't get to control this moment, and maybe for the first time to offer yourself the same understanding you give everyone else. Because you don't need more analysis. You need permission to stop treating every thought like it's true. And once that changes, even a little, you don't become someone who never overthinks. You become someone who isn't controlled by it anymore. And that changes everything.